Okay, we're going to look at number 2 on page 31. Angle ABC and angle CBD are adjacent angles. Which side do the angles have in common? So we should first sketch a pair of adjacent angles, and we should notice what are the two angles that they're naming, and they both have the center letter B, meaning the vertex should be B. And then notice we have to make sure that we do this part correct. What other letter do they both have in common? They both have a C. Not in the same place, but they both have a C. So guess what? That's got to be the one that is going up through the center, so that it is a part of both of those. And then the other two sides can be A and D. And so the common side will be this ray BC, because it is both a part of angle ABC and it is a part of angle DBC. So your final answer you would want to put is ray BC is the common side. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Okay, so let's go on to number 3, 4, 5, and 6. You have an option to identify the pair of angles as only adjacent, adjacent and form a linear pair, or not adjacent. Okay, so angles 1 and angle 2. You will need to know your vocabulary in order to do this. So I'm going to point out these angles here by highlighting them. Angles 1 and angle 2. Are they, what do you notice about these? Well, first of all, are they adjacent? Yes, they are adjacent. They share a common ray right here. Now, so that gives us a choice of, are they only adjacent, or are they adjacent and form a linear pair? Well, linear pairs have the non-common sides are opposite rays. So here's the common side. Here are the non-common sides. Are they opposite rays? Yes. These are opposite rays. So there are two rays coming from that vertex, and I'll help you see it a little more by putting a point on here. And you can see that we now have those opposite rays there. So that is going to be adjacent and form a linear pair. For number 3, say A. For number 4, angle 1 and angle 3. And I'll use a different color for these guys. Angle 1 and angle 3. The only thing that these two angles, angle 3 and angle 1, have in common is the vertex E. They do not share a common side. The two sides that make this angle are not either of the sides that make this angle. And that's what you need to be adjacent. And it's also necessary for linear pair. So this is going to be just not adjacent. angles 2 and angle 4. Angles 2 and angles 4. I can actually use these green lines again for these. Do they share a common ray? No, the two rays or sides that make up this angle 2 are not the sides that make up the angle 4. So again, we have C. And number 6, angle 2 and angle 3. Let's get a different color for that. Angle 2 and angle 3. Do they share a common ray? Absolutely. This one right between the two. So they are adjacent. Are the two other rays opposite rays? So ray EH and EF, are they completely opposite rays? No. They do not form a straight angle, which is what these would need to do. You can see I'm not completing a straight line as I run my finger along the two rays. So these are adjacent only, and that's A. Okay, and I just realized that I put in the wrong answer there. That should be B. I said the right thing. I said adjacent and form a linear pair, but then I put the wrong letter. Okay? Alright, let's go to the next one. Okay, I skipped number 7 and 8. That should be pretty simple. So let's go on to 9 and 10. The same idea applies, and it's important that you, like in number 1 on the other video, that you really understand what it means to be a supplement, what it means to be a complement. So let's call the supplement of angle B. Just the easy thing would be say that we're gonna call it angle A. The supplement of angle B will be angle A. So we know if we take the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle B, they should add up to how many degrees? 180 degrees. That is the definition of two angles being supplementary. So we write down what we know. Then we can just use substitution. The measure of angle B is 6x minus 5. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to plug it in here for the measure of angle B. I don't know what the measure of angle A is, so I'm just going to leave it as the measure of angle A. Oops. I do know that the measure of angle B can have a substitution of 6x minus 5. And I'm going to bring down the equal sign, and I'm going to bring down the 180 degrees. Okay. Now the point of solving here, you know, because now you're probably wondering, I've got two unknown variables. You know, I have this measure of angle A, and I have the measure, and I have an x. So that's two unknowns. Which one am I solving for? Well, that depends on what the question was asking. It says to find the measure. Find the measure of each of the following. And so we're really trying to find the measure of angle A. So that means solve for the measure of angle A. It means try to get everything except the measure of angle A onto the other side. So which thing are we isolating? We are isolating the measure of angle A. Get rid of everything else. Okay, so let's start doing that. How do you get rid of things? Well, we can do it this way. Right? Won't that get rid of 6x? But if you do it to one side, you got to do it to the other. Now it's just going to be a minus 6x on the end, like that. What else can we do? How can I get rid of a minus 5? I can add 5 to both sides. Okay, so I'll add 5 to both sides. On the left side of the equation, what are we left with? We're left with the measure of angle A. We've got these to cancel out. We've got these to cancel out. And we are left with all of this stuff here. So I know that 180 plus 5 is 185. And I'm left with a minus 6x. And I know this answer doesn't look very pretty. I know it. We haven't really seen any answers that look like this. But what else can you do? You can't do anything else with this. There's no things to sub in for x. If there was, hey, that would be great. But there isn't. So that's your answer. The measure of angle A is equal to 185 minus 6x. And to make it look a little nicer, we could put parentheses around it and put degrees. Okay? So that's that. You would just kind of need to change it up a little bit for the complement. Okay? You're just going to be using basically a different number here. Okay? So that's that. See another video for the rest of the problems. I'm going to have to do it on a separate video.